Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Hopefully you guys can hear me now. I'm currently using my speaker as a stand for my phone right now, even though my phone does have a kickstand. It doesn't really go all the way back for my camera uh, selfie layout right here. I have right here. So right now I'm still recording on the S25 Ultra again. I think this is a pretty good quality for my next videos that I have. I do use my laptop that does blur out the background in portrait mode. I don't really think you can blur out the background in videos on your S25 Ultra. I kind of have to go a deeper route, or I guess in-depth look into it. But this video we're gonna be debating on Samsung versus Apple. Um, I'm currently a Samsung user at the moment. I've been a Samsung user ever since the S8 Edge. It's been out, I think, for 10 years or like 8 to 10 years or something like that. So before that, I had the regular flip phone back in, I think, like fifth grade or sixth grade or something like that. So I had a flip phone for my first phone. And then I had a Moto G or a Droid and a Droid Razr, and then from there I went to Samsung because Motorola wasn't really doing that good. So after the S8 Edge, excuse me, freaking heartburn. After the S8 Edge, I had, I think the what did I have next? Oh my god, I lost my train of thought. After the S8 Edge, I had the S10. I think it was the S10 or S. Dang, I don't even remember. No, I think it was the S20 FE because I think I had the S8 Edge for a while, like 3 or 4 years or something like that, and I traded it in. I just needed a phone, so I got the S20 FE, and then I traded that dumb piece of after like a month because it gave me a damn line through the damn middle of the screen. It was like a red line. The display was kind of crappy. It wasn't even 120 hertz like how the new phones are right now. I think the iPhone 17 that's gonna come out later on in August as well has a 120 hertz refresh rate. So after the S20 FE, I had the S22 Ultra, and then I had that one for 4 years, 5 years. You know, um, I had it until I think the beginning of this year, which kind of sucked because it was a really good phone. The battery was kind of giving out on me. You know, after I think 4 or 5 years, the battery on a phone starts giving out. So especially with Samsung, their batteries are pretty good. So you know, after 4 or 5 years, it started to give out. So it was kind of giving out on me, especially during its end cycle when it was like at 10 or 5%. I would just die like in like 5 or 10 minutes. I wouldn't be able to use it anymore. So yeah, after that one, it broke. I had to go to Verizon, get a cheap phone, the S24 FE. You know, that was like pretty expensive for a bottom of the tier S24 lineup. I should have gotten a way cheaper phone for like $100, $200. Kind of my bad on that one, especially with my knowledge of getting phones all the time and being on my own plan for 4 to 5. I think 5 years already. I think it's been. Yeah, I think it's been 5 years since I've been on my own plan and whatnot. So yeah, I mean the benefits from me being a Samsung user is you know you get more customization. The ecosystem is way better. I think the only bad part about the ecosystem is when you're actually trying to transfer things from Android or from Samsung to Apple and whatnot. That could be kind of a harsh issue to deal with. But yeah. Also, the benefit of Samsung is having their Gemini AI. You know, I don't think Apple can, you know, really say anything about AI. You know, they were gonna announce AI with their iPhone 16 lineup, so that didn't quite work out. I mean, they did make AI, but it's not as good as Gemini AI that's featured on the S25 lineup. I think the older versions, all the way to the S22 or S23, are gonna get that later on during the year. So So that should be a really great experience for older users. Um, so me being a Samsung user, I love the Samsung ecosystem. Even if I have like a tablet or a phone or anything that's Samsung related, I could just it pops out on my phone. Like if I want to connect to like a TV and whatnot. Sorry, got a lot of heartburn. So yeah, if I want to connect to like a TV, that's like Samsung. It'll be like, oh, you want to connect to the TV, and then it'll connect or decline, and then I'll always put decline because I never want to connect to my Samsung TVs. Only when we're watching fights and whatnot. So, I mean, the main reasons I love Samsung is customization, great battery life. I think it's a little bit better than the iPhones, like 1 or 2 hours more of screen on time. AI features, the ecosystem is way better. If you're barely getting an Android or an Apple product, for me personally, I would stick with Samsung or Google Pixel for Android. I know Google Pixel has a lot of bad reputations about their phones breaking. If you guys seen Jerry Rig Everything, he always does reviews on breaking phones, their screen hardness. He's the main guy to go for durability and toughness of a phone. So if you want to go check him out. So yeah, for Android, if you're barely, or if you're switching from Apple to Android, or if you're going to Android from, if you're going from Apple to Android and you're going from Android to Apple, there you go. I couldn't get my train of thought. For me, I think in the Android community, it would either have to be the newest Samsung that's out, the S25 Ultra, which is doing the job right now with audio and recording, even though the sun's going down behind me. Or maybe the Apple 15, 14 is probably like the earliest model you can go to. I wouldn't get the iPhone 17. It looks so disgusting. It has the same camera layout, the three cameras or whatnot, but it has a big like I guess cover like that. It's the phone camera, and then like it has like a big cover like that. That covers like all of it. I'm like, I don't know why Apple had to put that on their iPhone 17. I guess just to be unique or fleek in their own Apple ways, and then charging like almost $2,000 for a new phone that does the same thing as the iPhone 16. I know a lot of people were giving hell to the S25 Ultra because it wasn't really a big difference from the S24 Ultra. I could have gone on the S24 Ultra, but I kind of wanted the newer chipset, the bigger cooling system, the Gemini features, the more customization it had. I loved my S22 Ultra, but I already had it for 5 years. I think, yeah, like 4 years at least. So after 4 years, the update that was my last update with it and messed up my phone completely. I don't know how a damn update can mess up the freaking phone completely, but that's what made me get the S25 Ultra. So yeah, I mean, I don't really like Apple just mainly because it's so confusing to use. I don't understand the damn whole ecosystem and whatnot. I don't understand, how people can pay for their apps. With Android, you just have the Google Play Store. Apple, you have, I think the Apple Store or whatever you guys have. I'm not really too familiar with the Apple, so let me know what it's called or if I'm calling it right. Yeah, I'm not gonna pay for every damn app that I use. There's some apps that you do have to pay, like YouTube Music, Spotify Premium. Not even YouTube charges freaking for you to pay. Maybe just their YouTube Live or whatnot. But other than that, Apple's way too confusing for me. I would never ever get an Apple product. Maybe their iPads, but even their iPads are so freaking ridiculously expensive. I think it's like double the price of what I paid for my phone. Like in like the $3,000, $4,000 just for a freaking tablet. I know the newer tablets for Samsung are around like $2,000, $2,500, but they're like I think like 12, like 11 inches long or something like that. So it's like basically you're watching a freaking video on a damn mini TV. So um, I also like Samsung just because of their ways of doing things, and you know each year they add on to what, like the old saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So you know I think they stick to their mantra very good and very clearly, especially for us Samsung users. So yeah, if you are going to Android as a Apple user, I would either get the Google Pixel, I think 8 or 8 Pro that came out last year, or the Samsung S24 Ultra or S25 Ultra lineup, or just their 24, 25 lineup in general. And if you are an Android user and you're going to Apple, I would suggest sticking with the iPhone 15 or 16, because I don't think the 17 that's going to come out, I think in August, is really a big main bump. I know Apple tends to overpay their products and whatnot. So yeah, that's my, I guess, opinion slash review of Samsung versus Apple and why I think Samsung is superior. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Even though you guys don't really comment on my stuff no more, you know, comments are always welcome, no matter if it's hate comments, helpful comments. You know, what you guys think of my video setup. You know, should I keep on doing this video setup even though it's on my phone? Should I go back to the laptop? So yeah, that's the end of my video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.